Alright, hi everybody, Fred the Pirate here, and this is a response to Larry from Otaku Assemble's discussion of the week video, Modern Cartoon Network. So first of all, I'd like to say thanks to Larry for answering my discussion of the week question on sexualization in comic books, which that happened a while ago, but thanks for that. That was a really interesting video, and I really enjoyed watching it. And also, congratulations on your comic totems. So that's definitely exciting. Now on to the video. There wasn't really a lot of topics you covered that I didn't agree with. Pretty much, I agreed with everything you said in the video. With the exception of the thing about Adventure Time, which is kind of a small disagreement, that you made the point that Adventure Time was kind of a show for children, especially for younger children, and as somebody who watches the show, especially as an adult viewer of it, that's not technically true. I mean, it's a show that children can certainly watch, and I wouldn't dissuade children from watching it, but there's a lot of very adult and very mature subtext to the show, which I think parents might want to be a little aware of with that, because there are kind of elements in the show that get rather dark and can be rather mature, and and it's done in a way where it's wrapped up in this pretty simplistic cutesy bow, but then when you think about the content of it, it's a little darker, especially for the fact of the matter is that Adventure as a show actually takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth, and so then and you see bits and pieces of this throughout the show, and that might be something parents should probably be a little bit mindful of. Besides modern day Cartoon Network, the one point you made about it kind of transitioning away from the action shows, especially with the cancellations of shows like Young Justice and Green Lantern the animated series, and Thundercats and Symbiotic Titan. I'm definitely as kind of concerned about that as a viewer, because personally, I enjoy the action cartoons, and from not from necessarily a selfish stance, just as a viewer of that content, but I would like it if younger people had the chance to experience cartoons the way I experience them. Not obviously, I don't want it to be the same. I'm not like someone who's stuck on nostalgia, but I really would hope that younger generation of people can have the action cartoons of their generation, and I'm concerned that they're not going to be able to have this because Cartoon Network's deciding that it's just not profitable at this moment. Although they are trying to bring in a new Batman animated series in there, so we'll have to see how that works out. But I do hope that they don't entirely abandon action cartoons, because I definitely enjoyed them as a child, and I know people before me enjoyed their action cartoons, and I would really hope that younger people can have the chance to enjoy theirs. And I kind of want it to be more than just Ben 10, and maybe a couple, Batman cartoons here and there, keep it going. That's like, so that's definitely a cause for concern for me. Like, I mean, I can understand series being canceled because they're just not profitable. Um, but I hope they don't do away with, all the action cartoons because they've had a couple bad apples. But at the same time, I really do think that Cartoon Network did sabotage the success of these series to a certain extent because of their scheduling. I mean, with Young Justice and Green Lantern, they've had multiple hiatuses throughout those series. I know this last hiatus they had, which just came totally without warning, lasted I think almost 2.5 months, which was just ridiculous. And they did this right in the middle of the season, and I think this totally killed the momentum of that series. And this wasn't the first hiatus, like this is the second hiatus they've done, and then that's after they moved it from, the Friday night lineup to Saturday mornings. So I really do think that they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that. Um, and I know, like you said, I know merchandising has a huge impact on shows that they keep and shows that they don't. I know, for example, Symbionic Titan by Gendy Tarkovsky, I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, got canceled not because its views weren't satisfactory, but because they couldn't make a merchandising deal with any company. And so it got canceled, which was really unfortunate because it was a really great show. Although, I guess luckily, it got picked up for the Toonami block, so it's currently airing on Saturdays. Um, I hope that's a good thing. I mean, I hope that this, puts it into a position to get renewed for a third season. Um, I'm not really sure. I know before it got picked up by Toonami, I know Gendy was talking about trying to buy the rights to his series and maybe doing a Kickstarter thing so he could air it on his own on the internet, which that's definitely becoming viable for a lot of shows. So, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I think as far as, Young Justice and Green Lantern, that, maybe they'll get picked up on Toonami, as well, because that seemed like something that's happening to a lot of these action shows. So maybe Cartoon Network's getting rid of their action stuff so they can just, give it to William Street and just be like, take them, they're yours. Um, which I'm not entirely opposed to that. I mean, maybe that's the best setup, have Cartoon Network deal with the comedy shows and have William Street deal with the more action adventure oriented shows. As far as the content that's on there currently, I don't have a big issue with it. I mean, Adventure Time certainly, isn't a bad show. It's probably one of, the best comedy series to be released in a long, long time. I mean, it's not gonna be, the old cartoon shows, but, it doesn't need to be that, and, we need to have a new generation of cartoons, and we need to have them be their own thing, and regular shows definitely doing a good job. It's not necessarily for everybody, but it's not bad. And Gumball, from what I've seen of it, and I haven't seen a lot of it, it doesn't seem to be too bad. I know people have issues with Annoying Orange, but that's their money maker, and they're gonna keep that. As far as Nicktoons and Hub, I didn't get those channels. Like, I don't, like, So I really can't discuss them. I mean, I think my cable provider let me sample the hub for like a week before it like shut it off. So and I enjoyed it. It's definitely cool. I really didn't watch My Little Pony, but I don't think it was airing when I caught it. The old shows are cool. I actually watched a lot of Jim and the Hologram, and that was an interesting show to watch. And as far as Nicktoons and them having their stuff together, I also don't have that series. Um, but the last time I heard, I thought, as far as Wolverine and the X-Men goes on Nicktoons, I had heard several months ago that they had canceled that series. I might be wrong. Feel free to correct me on that, but I think I remembered hearing somewhere that they canceled that, so I don't know if that's a particularly good example of being a successful show if they canceled it. So um, maybe the superhero shows just aren't doing as well as they used to. Um, and maybe this generation's children just aren't as interested in action adventure shows as, people of, my age, people in their, early 20s, were. But, maybe that's yet to be seen. As far as other comedy stuff, I guess I know Disney XD has Gravity Falls, and that's a pretty good show. I guess as far as cartoons go in general, it seems like we're starting to get a lot of really nice cartoons now. After frankly having a couple of years there where there just wasn't any nice cartoons at all. Although I know a lot of the nicer action cartoons are being canceled. I know that Tron Uprising got canceled after its first season, and it was just artistically, in terms of writing, it was an amazing show. But I can kind of understand why it got canceled. I think it got good views, but it was on Disney XD, and Disney doesn't have a lot of mature programming like Tron, and you could kind of tell that it just didn't fit in with Disney, and I think that could certainly contribute to something being canceled. I mean, if a show doesn't fit in with the other shows on the network that it's being aired on, it's probably not gonna work out. And I know Disney kept shuffling it around, and I know they did the same thing with the Naruto Shippuden, and I think Tron probably got canceled for the same reason why Naruto did, which is that it didn't fit in with the network. And I think, and honestly, I don't know where Tron's gonna go because it doesn't fit in with any of Disney's networks. I mean, honestly, Disney XD was the most likely place it had to fit in, and it doesn't fit there. I mean, can't imagine them putting it on ABC Family, and I don't imagine they're gonna put it on ABC, and I don't think they're gonna put it on any of the regular Disney channels. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Maybe they'll stream it on the internet. I mean, that's definitely starting to become more of an option. So it'll be uh, interesting. As far as Cartoon Network goes, and I guess just modern animation, up until recently, I was fairly hopeful about the state of modern animation. And as far as the comedy series go, I'm still pretty hopeful on it. I mean, the major animation networks seem to be bringing in a lot of really good comedy series. As far as the action shows, I guess that's a little bit iffy, but it'll definitely be interesting to see how it progresses. Um, but I'm definitely excited to see what will happen with animation, as far as things go. Well, that's been my video response. Thanks for listening. I'm kind of new at this, so I hope this wasn't too bad. But thanks again for watching, and bye bye.